it's part of my job as well. So if you notice that professors like to talk, and they do, and it's part of their job description. So, but then when I was trying to come up with a subject, it was actually a lot harder than I anticipated because there are two things that I really wanted to discuss, but I don't want to take up all of your time for your testimony, so I decided one. So today I want to talk about, I guess, my spiritual growth a little bit, and then also how coming to this church has changed my perspective. So I was born into a Christian family. I count that as one of my biggest blessings. And thanks to my parents, when you think of God, you automatically think of your parents, I think. So thanks to my parents, I knew two things. God is real. And second is that I knew that he loved me. There was never doubt about that. But another thing that I learned from the church also was that how unworthy of his love I am. I do not deserve to be loved by him. There's nothing in me that is lovable for God. And so, despite going for a church for 20 years, I never understood why he loved me. So, every time I look at the cross, am I thankful? Yes. But am I also feel guilty about it? Yes. Because at the same time, I'm thinking like, why did you have to do that for me? I did not ask you to do that. Well, I could have not been born, and that would have solved a lot of problems. But why did you die for me when I didn't ask for help and give me this burden that I cannot carry in my heart? And that was part because I knew about God. I knew God created the world. I knew God loved me. But God is this, being that's far away, maybe, in my heart. That is, perfect. And as a sinner, how do I approach him? I cannot. And I knew that Jesus died for me. But why would you do that for me? So, I wanted to become worthy of this love. I wanted to be somebody that he can love. I want to be good. I want to be a good person. I want to be a great person. But every time I try that, there's a whisper in my head that tells me that, are you really sure that you're worthy of it? And the answer is always no. Look at you, really? He threw away his life for you. And then it really hurt. So one day I was meditating at the church before the service, and I asked God, why do you love me? There's nothing in me that's worthy of your love. And then, I realized two things at that moment. First is that he doesn't love me because of who I am. He loves me because of who he is, because God is love. So him loving me has nothing to do with me. Him loving me has everything to do with him. He loves me because he's love, and he loves me because... And second is that he loves me because he decided to love me. We know that diamonds are expensive, but diamonds just carbon. The only reason why we value those is because we value those. Because people are willing to pay a lot of money for it, that's the only reason that they're valuable. There's nothing intrinsically more valuable about diamond compared to just carbon. A pencil goes for $1 or 1,000,000. Diamond goes for, I don't know. I never thought about diamond before, so. But I know they're expensive, so. And that is just like that. We are who we are, not because of ourselves, our values, but we are who we are because how much God values us and because of who God is. And that was great. And when I was about to graduate undergrad, that's my realization. So, but there was still that question remained in me. That is like, I know I'm saved, so I understood God and I understood Jesus. I think a little bit. But I still have my life, my time left in this earth. But how am I supposed to live my life now that I know I'm loved by God? That question has not been answered. But then it's been about 3 years since I came to this church. And then a lot of things happened. I promise you that I won't take too much time, and it's already over 5 minutes, so I'll try to wrap up. So, when I came here, before I came here, if you asked me the question, do you think you can live like Jesus? Then I think my answer would have been no. How can I live like Jesus? I'm human. Jesus is Jesus, right? And if you ask me, do you think you can live like one of those saints, like Paul or David, or the people who came before me? My answer would have been no. I know myself, and I'm not one of them, right? But then coming here, throughout the 3 years, what I learned is that, and somebody asked me again, do you think you can reach the full measure of Christ? Then my answer would be yes. But this has nothing to do with my growth. It's not because of who I am, but it's because of who Holy Spirit is. And Holy Spirit enables us and pushes us towards that. So, summarizing, I was born in a Christian family. I've been a Christian all my life. But when I was focusing on myself, there's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that is worthy of His love, and I cannot live like Him. I'm just full of sins. I have own limitations. But God told me throughout my life that it doesn't matter. It does not matter who you are, because He loves me because of who He is. He loves me because He chose to love me. And I will be able to live according to His will, not because of who I am, but because of the power of the Spirit. So when God, the Father and the Son and the Spirit comes together, I think everything will happen, but everything will happen not because of me, but because of Him. And I thank God for that, because how hard would it be to live like Jesus on our own strength? That's impossible. But thankfully that He is the one source that enables us, and for that I give thanks to Him. Thank you.